What is up, YouTube? Today, we're diving into the best SVD attachments and calibrations in Delta Force. The SVD is a semi-auto marksman rifle with a slower fire rate, but with high damage. It deals 40 damage per shot, and it fires at 300 rounds per minute, giving it a 400 millisecond time to kill, up to 85 meters. Past 85 meters, it drops off quite hard, requiring 4 shots to kill, or even 6 shots if you're hitting the limbs. Visual shake makes it hard to land shots quickly, especially compared to other marksman rifles, so that will be one of the main points that I will address today with the build. I will also be increasing its effective range to over 110 meters, and its magazine capacity because the default is just not enough at 10 rounds. Its major upside is that when you land a single headshot, then a body shot will be enough, making it a 2-shot kill when you land that one headshot. This was one of the hardest marksman rifles to use, but it deals so much damage that landing those shots did feel extremely satisfying. And with all of that said, let's get into the attachments. We begin with a blank SVD, and let's start with a handguard because as soon as we change it, we are going to get new slots. Plus, we only have upsides that are much better than the polymer handguard here. Instead of just 4 stability, we're getting +2 handling also. So let's put this on. Now we have a whole bunch of extra attachments to put on, which is going to be useful. Let's move on to the barrel now, where we put on the SVD Blackthorn Ultra Long Barrel. It massively increases our range, which is exactly what we want, right along with the muzzle velocity. This weapon is going to be mainly used at longer ranges, so the extra control and stability are also very useful, but the handling is really not that useful to us right now. This makes it the perfect combination, so let's put it on. Then on the foregrip, we go for the resonant ergonomic grip. Most of the recoil on this weapon is going to be vertical, with a tiny bit of sway from side to side. So let's focus on the vertical recoil because of the speed at which you're going to be shooting this. It's not going to be enough to really vary the horizontal recoil, therefore the vertical recoil is the best one to really get rid of here. So let's put on the resonant ergonomic grip. Next up on the muzzle, I have found that the spiral fire flash hider is the best one to put on here because of the firing stability buff that we get on it and the slight increase to stability. The reason why we're not going for the silent suppressor here is because this slows down our fire rate even more. So we would be going from 300 rounds per minute, which is already fairly slow, to 261, which is not really very useful. So let's put on the spiral fire flash hider. Say that 3 times fast. Next, we can actually put on patches on every single one of these rails. So let's actually put on the Ranger handguard panel for every single one. That will end up giving us +4 extra control, which will help our vertical, horizontal, and our firing stability. This will make it a lot easier to control the weapon at those longer ranges. Next, don't forget to put on the charging handle because you get +1 handling for free. We only have 10 rounds on this, so let's make sure that we put on the 20 round magazine. That is going to be much better for us because even at 300 rounds per minute, which is not a lot, you will be running out of 10 quite quickly, so let's put it on. And don't forget to put the mag assist for the extra handling for free. Next up, for the optic, it's really preference, but I do prefer going for the 2x Russian accuracy scope here because I have an easier time using this than anything else that is zoomed in, especially before 150 meters. I don't really want to use this at those ranges, so I would be putting on the 2x scope. But another extremely good option, arguably even better than the 2x scope, is the M157 fire control system. Just make sure that you do put on the kill flash whenever you actually put on the fire control system. This one has a 1x scope, a 3x, and the 7x. But really you could go for whichever one you want. I would just be going for the 2x scope here. Next, on the rear grip, we want to go for the SVD grip adapter so that we can actually put a proper stock on this. And for that stock, we'll be putting on the Elite Light stock. This is mainly to get that extra ADS movement speed, which at every range does help, believe it or not. It also gives us a little bit of extra control, which is going to be useful. So let's put it on. Now this is the build before the calibration, so let's check out the detailed stats here so that you can see what we have changed and what will be changing due to the calibration. The damage fall off multiplier has gotten much better. This huge drop used to happen somewhere around 85 meters over here. Now it's somewhere around 110 meters. As you can tell though from the damage, you really don't want to be hitting the limbs. But now let's move on to the control because that will be changing due to the calibration, and most most of our recoil is going to be vertical recoil, although the image doesn't really seem to be that way. It actually ends up working that way in practice. I will show you in the firing range in a little bit. So we've really focused on vertical recoil, making it a lot easier to control in general. This is going to get a little bit better though after the calibration, so let's move on to the handling, where you can see our ADS movement speed is already huge, and our current ADS speed is not the greatest, but again, you are supposed to be at further ranges with the SVD, so your current ADS speed is not going to affect you as much as usual. We do want to have the ADS movement speed quite high though, so that you can actually strafe and dodge those shots. Next up is the stability, where you can see that we have increased it by a lot, making it much easier to actually handle the weapon and make sure that you can land those follow-up shots. The breath sway range and the movement stability are going to get a little bit worse, but that is okay, because the rest of the stats are going to be better. So let's move on now to the calibration to make the weapon even better now. Starting off with the barrel, we move the weight limit all the way down to the minimum for that extra ADS movement speed, because we already have a very high firing stability anyways, and we really don't need any more. We would much rather move quicker. The length goes all the way up to the maximum for that extra muzzle velocity, since we are going to be using this weapon at quite the distance. Don't worry so much about ADS speed, because again, you're going to be pretty far. On the foregrip, we move the thickness all the way down to the minimum, again because of ADS movement speed. This really makes a difference whenever somebody else is shooting at you. And the weight limit, you move all the way up to the maximum for the extra control, just to make sure we can really hit those shots. On the stock, the weight limit all the way to the maximum for the extra control once again. Our stability is extremely good already, so you don't really care about this little negative stat here. I will show you what that ends up looking like later. And the placement all the way down to the minimum for the extra ADS speed to cancel out some of the downsides that we have already put on it. Firing stability really won't affect you as much, because again, we have very good firing stability already. So let's move on to the optic now, where all we're really doing here is moving the zoom all the way to the maximum, at least for myself. If you have a different scope, maybe you put on a 3x or a 7x, maybe you really don't have to do this, but me having a 2x, I do prefer having a 2x 0.25. And the eye relief, I really enjoy moving this down to the left, just to be able to see as much as possible inside of your optics window. So now let's take a look at the new stats after the calibration, and you can see that the damage fall off multiplier does not change at all, but our control has gotten a lot better in both the vertical and the horizontal plane, and our firing stability is still amazing. Next, on the handling, you can see that our ADS speed is still just about the same, but we have increased our ADS movement speed by a lot. Just make sure that you don't waste this by standing still for too long. You always want to keep strafing. And last but not least, on the stability, the breath sway range is still amazing, while the movement stability is still amazing too, and the rest of the stats have stayed the same, making this a lot easier to shoot with, because your optic is not going to be shaking as much as it usually would. And now that you know the stats and we have dialed in our attachments and calibration, let's hop into the firing range to see how it handles. I'm taking my mouse completely off the mousepad and just spamming the left click button so that you can see the recoil of the weapon, and as you can tell here, it's mostly just upwards with a slight little hitch to the left and the right sometimes. This means that it is extremely easy to control, and what I'm trying to do now is just keeping it in the same spot as much as possible, and look at that grouping, it's extremely tight. But believe it or not, it gets even better whenever you're actually holding your breath and controlling it at the same time. There's barely anything to control, and your grouping is going to be even better. This does mean that you want to make sure that you're always holding your breath whenever you're shooting with this one, so that you can have quite the easy time landing those shots. The SVD shoots painstakingly slow, but it deals a lot of damage when you hit the body or the head. So if you stay decently far and you aim for the right body parts, you will do very well with this one. And now that we have the build locked in, let's jump into a fun game in trench lines at night to see the setup in action. Enjoy! We're in trench lines, the night mode, which is pretty good for an SVD, because it'll be a little bit easier for us to hit them than them hit us at ranges. Let's see what we can do with this bad boy, the SVD, which is not very good, but we're gonna try to make it work here. I see you. Haha. Good. Now we gotta make sure to get her. As you notice though, it is a 3-shot kill to the body. Sadly, if you do get some hits on the arms and the legs, it's gonna be a 4-shot kill, which is not very good. It's one of the biggest downsides of the weapon. This guy's not gonna move. I think he's like AFK. He is AFK. I'm just missing. Hold on, I see you. Where are you? I kinda see you. I see one very close. There you are. Okay, well. I was gonna wait for him to land to do the next shot and just finish him off, but someone else got him. Doing alright right now. Good. 2 shots to the face. At 78 meters you can do that. It's 2 shots until 116 meters. Get him too. That's if you land both on the head though. Haha! Yes, oh no. Let's go back here. Make it a little bit harder for them to know exactly where I'm gonna pop out from. Good. Hello. Oh, hey, that guy's actually alive. Oh my goodness. I shot him and I was not expecting to get a hit marker off of that. Didn't even see him, really. Still got him. Let's get back to our spot. Good. Got him good. On the bright side, if you are below 116 meters, you can get one headshot and then one body shot, and it will be a 2-shot kill still. So what that means is that you really want to keep the SVD below 116 meters. You don't want to go any further than that. Oh, she sees me. One more shot. There we go. Perfect. As long as you don't hit the arms, you're good to go at these ranges. I hate this spot right now. I feel like Anne Frank. I probably shouldn't say that. Oh no! That guy never expected to just be able to run there, huh? Where are they and how did they see me? Okay, well, I see you. Could be an easy kill. Perfect, perfect. Can I make this land right through that? I can. Nice. Should be another kill, maybe? Nope. There's a guy here, though. Oh, pistol time. Yep. That was not going to be a good time to use the SVD. Gotta make sure you have a pistol for those very, very close ranges like that. We do have 700 milliseconds, or I guess meters per second of muzzle velocity. You don't really have to lead people very much. Not expecting that guy to just do that. What a spawn. They're just hiding over here, huh? Wait, what? Why did she do that? What was she trying to do there? When defending on trench lines, I definitely like to go to the right side of the map and C after the capture the B point. Because on the left side, there's always too much happening and it is too close range. So the right side, you have a good amount of cover and it's further range. So that's what we're gonna try. And then make sure that we get anybody who's just running forward like that. I hear an enemy. There you are. Didn't want to risk it with the SVD. Another one. Another one.
Another one.
There a respawn? Oh, hey. Nice little shot there. 115, right within the range. Perfect, perfect.
Target located.
Yeah, I was not expecting there to be like 4 people on this side. You know, I'm thinking for the SVD, it would be enough of a buff to probably just get rid of some of this extra shake that it has. Make it a lot easier to shoot at the ranges that you should be using a weapon like this in. Haha, she had no time to react. We can put 2 follow-up shots on them like that. That's what you want to do. Oh, let me reload and then try to go for this guy one more time after I put down a spawn beacon just in case. Oh, there we go. Let's just shoot that. Maybe, just maybe. There we go. Can't let them revive, can't let them revive. Somebody coming this way? He's already here. Yes, there we go. Hear you. Even if I die, I don't care. I'm gonna get you. It's you. No respawn beacon? Good. Next time I die, I'm switching over to the 3x scope. I feel like this is the type of match that it would do a lot better in than the 2x. I lied, never mind. I forgot that I got rid of it. Whoopsies. Sticking with the 2x. Who's over here? Somebody shooting from the right? Oh, yeah. See you. There's somebody else, though. It's you. Bam. Got her. See somebody right here. Ha ha ha. Can't hide away from me. One more. Good. And what this guy doesn't expect is for me to know exactly where he's at. And what she doesn't expect is that I know how much to lead. Damn, I think that's a shield, right? Kind of stopped me from hitting him. I'm in real trouble right now. Maybe not. Teammate, thank you. Good job. Good job. Yes. Bam. 87. Perfect range. That is perfect for us. We're doing pretty good now on the D point. Very happy about that. There we go. 109. I didn't even see that person. I was just spamming that way. No way. We both lined up. It's crazy because I'm really not a fan of the SKS in this game. And yet, I would still take it over the SVD. That just tells you what I really feel like about with the SVD. What I think about it. One more shot. it's super easy to control because the shake is just a lot higher than the recoil actually is. So just pull down just by a little bit and it's fine. But that's not enough. Just really doesn't have enough time to kill or just rounds per minute. It doesn't have anything. Damage, rounds per minute. It has nothing going for it. But if you gotta level it, might as well use it. The only thing that it's actually pretty good with it is that if you get a headshot, you can just get a body shot right after and you will get that 2-shot kill, which is nice. But aside from that, nothing else. That's another issue, that the damage difference in between the body shots and the arm or leg, it's just way too high. You're doing 40 damage to the body, but only 24 or 28 to the arms and legs. Just not really enough because a lot of people are going to be running side to side. So you're going to be shooting the arms and legs a lot more than you would really expect. Oh, there we go, got him. It was a wipeout too, good. We do have 20 rounds, which considering our rounds per minute, it's pretty much enough. You're not really going to have an issue. Let's get her. Because we only have 300 rounds per minute. 30 would be crazy. Ooh, yes, I stole my teammate's kill. Oh no, poor guy. I died for it though. I deserve that. That's karma. You know, I see where their vehicles are. Why don't I use a guided missile where I think their vehicles are gonna be? Which should be right around here. Maybe this will work. Oh, right there. Yeah, that's perfect. Come. Come on. Where is it? There it is. Go. I'm luring it. I'm baiting it. No, you're moving. Why are you moving forward? Oh, that is so sad. Wait, did I not get to use mine? That's what happened. Man, someone stole my timing. Let's try it again. That one's mine, right? Yeah, okay, it's mine coming in. Gotta make sure the tank stays there, and I died. Oh no, I can't lure it. Is it gonna land? Is it gonna hit? Come on. Let's go right on top of him. Look at that, that's disgusting. I got him. Let's go. First time I ever do that. On purpose, at least. So happy about that, actually. Hit you too. There we go. If they stand still, you can definitely get some easy kills, because it is a 3-shot. But otherwise, you're kind of screwed. Especially if they're aiming sideways. There we go. That was a pretty good game. One of my best ones with the SVD, definitely. I don't recommend you use it unless you're really trying to level it up. Anything would be better than the SVD, most likely. But it was a pretty good match. 69 kills. That was good. One of my better guided missiles, too. Wow, so many of them left at the end there. That was crazy. Now in the comments down below, let me know what you thought of this SVD build, and if you have a way to improve it even more. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. Owl out.